Hey guys, welcome to the bird's nest. Look, I had recorded a whole 35-minute video on the way to work today, and I couldn't even post it because I made a mistake. I don't know why I did this, of checking Twitter before I posted the video, and then I got pissed off and went on a tangent I've been telling people off all morning. But before we get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL news, recaps, and gossip. I'm going to keep you in the loop, guys. My video this morning was decent. It was like, I did it because of G. Bush saying once again for the 1,000th time on Ultimate Cleveland Sports, and he also says it on his stream, that players be reaching out to him. Yummy. Oh my God. That was good. Salt and pepper tofu. Anyway. So I was, I had went on a tangent in that video for 35 minutes. But when I got on Twitter, people on Twitter has started finally spreading G. Bush's message. And you know what? People are calling him a liar. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I consider G. Bush to be one of my most reliable sources. Outside of the NFL players, former NFL players themselves that have platforms on YouTube. And one guy said that those guys are just entertainers. No, baby. And yes, they are entertainers. You do. There's an entertainment element, like Acho, since he comes from TV, he's very much still in that ESPN fake, or he was on Fox, wasn't he? Fake mode, trying to make it interesting with the yelling, Acho, he's fake. So I don't consider him a source. I watch a show, Shady's the source. TJ Hoosh is the source on that show, and the new gentleman whose name I haven't committed to memory yet, please forgive me. I don't want to disrespect that man. I'm going to learn his name. Just like TJ, I didn't know his name at first either. But those are the guys, they teach you stuff. They say real stuff. Acho, he's always coming from this backup perspective. He doesn't have the perspective that guys that were actually good has. Same thing with Shannon Sharp and Ocho. Shannon's the entertainer. Those guys that come from TV, he's the entertainer. Ocho tells you real stuff. So, me hearing them call him, G. Bush, a liar, pissed me all the way off. So now I'm arguing with people, and y'all, I've mentioned before, I try to control myself. I am argumentative and opinionated, but I try to control myself because everybody's entitled to their opinion. But what you ain't gonna do is call my boy no liar. These players are doing everything in their power to get the message out that there's some bull scrap going on, and y'all don't even want to believe it. G. Bush is not the only one that has said it. Ocho said it. Ocho named Denzel Ward by name, by accident. He let it slip, but Denzel wasn't the only one. That day that he named Denzel, he said multiple players have been reaching out to him. G. Bush said the same thing. He doesn't even know those guys, and they started reaching out to him. Shady. And then a lot of them don't say Shedeur's name. Shady does say, I talked to Shedeur. I know Ocho talks to Shedeur because while him and Shannon were on a live stream, Shedeur called him, and Ocho had to step away to take the call. It was the day that it was announced that Joe Burrow was going to be out for weeks, which is turning out he's not going to be out as long as he thought. And I think Shedeur wanted the job. Anyway, and the Bengals tried to get Shedeur, according to G. Bush. He would not say that, and he never mentions Ocho. I don't think him or Tings watch other shows. I don't even think Tings was familiar with G. Bush until they streamed together. But now he's getting to know him in any event. So I'm telling them, G. Bush has multiple college degrees, additional media training, and he's been a Cleveland media person for years. He's a veteran. How dare you question his reputation? Dare you think that he would put his reputation on the line to lie for Shedeur? Anyway, so that's why I didn't post that video, because they pissed me off. And I've been going back and forth with people all morning when I should be working. And telling them how ridiculous it is. See, one thing about me, I got that mouth on me. You can't argue with me. Especially when I got all these receipts. I be breaking them down, y'all. They all think I'm a man, first of all. And I like that. So I lean into that. And so when I gotta get them in place like a man, I do that too. You can't match my mouth, guy, because I'm actually not a man. I'm a woman. And you know how we talk. Anyway, another thing I saw online, very, very, very interesting. Very interesting on 92.3 The Fan. And although I have them blocked, people repost it. So then I wind up seeing it. And I'm glad I saw this one. An insider was on the 92.3 The Fan show that I actually do like, which I will watch on YouTube. Only them. Because I blocked them on Twitter. Someone on that show said that he heard from inside the facility, don't be all ambiguous like Mary KB and like Tony Grossi and all those guys. No. If your scoop is legit, let it be crisp and sharp. So he said that he heard that the coaches are discussing starting Shedeur this week. They're divided on it. They think, some of them think that Shedeur gives them the best chance. Give them a spark. That's what he said. He said the whole group knows for a fact Dylan ain't him. Yo, this is so goddamn, oh my God. I thought it was going to be nasty because it didn't have no sauce. But it's good. Salt and pepper, fried tofu. Anyway. So, look, hey, he said this week, I don't know when this discussion occurred, that he heard about Shedeur starting this week. So now I need a media person, Mary Kay, one of them, to ask him again, is Shedeur getting first team reps? And then yesterday or the day before, they elevated another one of Shedeur's wide receiver. Cade was his name. And I said that right there was a sign that Shedeur was coming. But I didn't think it was coming this week, because they would have to prepare him this week and get him reps this week for him to play this week, unless they elevate his wide receivers. So Shedeur might be playing this week. Just when I was going to start boycotting them games and watching something else, I'm going to have to watch just in case. Even if he doesn't start, maybe, possibly, he could get some garbage time reps, although Haslam himself said via Ian Rappaport that was not happening. Haslam said Shedeur will get in when he's the starter. So, we going to see who's starting this week, y'all. That's what the guy said, the 92.3 The Fan. That's coming from inside the facility. Now they battling over Shedeur. Bruh. The Cleveland Browns, the NFL, the collusion, the corruption. I can't keep up with this thing. And then I watched the Eric Dickerson interview, another person they called a liar, when he said he heard it from an NFL source that they colluded against Shedeur. Look, they colluded against Shedeur, okay? They did. They just did. Stephen A. Smith came out and said it during, I guess it was right after the draft. So let's say the draft happened on the weekend. Stephen A. Smith said on Monday, I was told that the owners was calling around room to room to room to room to room, one draft room to the next, saying, don't take Shedeur. He said that too early. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know that he wasn't allowed to say that, because when you say that, you're saying they're colluding. And you ain't supposed to say that out loud, Stephen A. Smith. Well, of course, he never said it again, ever. And he turned on Shedeur. When he knows what happened. He knows what happened. So, y'all know what else I got. So this is the fried salt and pepper tofu. And the girl was telling me it would have been better if I ate it in the restaurant because it would be crunchy. And she didn't know how it would be now. But it's good. Oh my God. Oh my God. But what else I get from them, the reason I go to them, is guess what? Other people eat pig intestines besides black people. I've had, how are those made? I think the chitlins I had in Spain were fried. And then these ones that I have at the Chinese restaurant here, they're sauteed. But they chitlins, y'all. And this one I got today, chitlins at hog balls. But they just call them pig intestines and stomachs. That's what it is. But other cultures make it too. And come to find out, just like the song, What You Won't Do for Love, I have heard that song in at least 5 versions, and I'm madly in love with every version. That's how I am with chitlins too. Okay, got a little traffic jam. Let me read some comments. Benazi, hi Benazi. Hey Kuzi Siva. I think I can't see the whole thing. Hey Amber Love, how you doing? They better use them. You better use them. Keep sending Amber said they trying to use my boy to save their jobs. They should have ended that. What did they look? No. Kevin Stefanski knew since training camp that Dylan wasn't him. Reporters that were at training camp were already saying that. They were already saying it. He's not him. He's inconsistent. He'll have one good play and 5 bad plays. And then lo and behold, he gets on the field and that's what happens. Haslam told them they had to win more games than last year. Exactly. You may be onto something. I don't know what that's about. It ain't, look, I just be following the tea leaves. And I follow them everywhere. A lot of my content creator guys, my favorite content creator guys, simply don't watch other content creators. And as a result, they be missing scoop from each other. Like, I have never heard G. Bush or Tings mention Ocho Cinco. The fact that Shedeur called in the middle of their live broadcast, no one ever mentioned it. I was like, that's weird. They don't watch it. So me, I keep my ear to the street. I'm gonna bring it all together for you. Another thing I mentioned in my video that I didn't post is that Tings did a receipt-filled video yesterday. See, that's why they going off about G. Bush now. Because he had all the clips of G. Bush saying over and over and over again, players calling me. Marquee players. Starters. I know who he's talking about. I can tell you for a fact. No, it's not a fact. This is an opinion. This is an opinion. In my opinion, my thought is it's definitely Denzel Ward because Ocho Cinco named him by name. So definitely him. They trying to get the word out by any means necessary. Definitely Miles. Definitely. Because they shouting quarterbacks out there and not the franchise quarterback. That's what they called him. That's what they call Shedeur to Ocho and the G. Bush. Shedeur is a franchise quarterback. That is what emboldens me on Twitter when I'm talking to people. And that's why I refer to him as the franchise quarterback. And you can call me crazy all you want. That's what the players said. Starters, not nobodies. Jerry Jeudy has never given away his feelings. But I know him too. Because I suspect, and this is definitely an opinion, that they dropping them balls on purpose. Them guys throwing them balls right to him. And they dropping them. Game after game after game after game. And then, the fact that Jerry Jeudy did better last week than he's done all season is because Kevin Stefanski wasn't calling the plays and he was willing to cooperate. That's what I think. They tired of Kevin. Kevin got to go. He needs to be fired today. Another thing I talked about in my video that I didn't post, and I'm clearly not going to post it because I'm talking about it now, is that goddamn Daboll. They went along with him and they used him. Because I tell y'all all the time, all the other people that was leaking stories about Shedeur's interview, they were all anonymous. Every last single one. We don't know who they were, what team, nothing. We know nothing. Anonymous sources. Daboll put the Giants' name on it. They were the only ones. And people say things that I have never heard, guys. I keep my ear to the street. I have never heard, only mention I've heard of Shedeur having on headphones is people refuting that he had on headphones. I never heard nobody accusing him of having on headphones. I'm not saying that it's not true, but it wasn't widely distributed because I hear about disputing it constantly, and I have never heard anybody say he did it. So I don't even know what that's about. But the rest of it, what I did hear, is that him and Brian Daboll got in a shouting match. Like, that stood out to me. That's we about to fight up in here type stuff. That's how they described it. Come to find out today, I ain't never knew this before, Brian Daboll got a problem. They had to monitor him because of his volatile temper. Apparently, he threw a tablet at somebody, the quarterback, the quarterback for the Colts right now. I can't remember his name. Donald, whatever. Sam Darnold, is that his name? Might be him. I don't think it was him. No, it's not him. Somebody else. Anyway, he threw a tablet at him, and then of course a couple of weeks ago he got the $100,000 fine for acting a damn fool while Jackson Dart was in tent being evaluated for a damn concussion, and because the fans were booing Russell, who was in the game for him, Brian's going crazy and going in the tent and telling them to hurry up, not giving a damn about Jackson's health. And now the boy really does have a concussion. So it was all of that got him fired, along with the losing record, that temper of his. But y'all used him to then go and collude against Shedeur. I don't even know how much of that other stuff is true. Now that I be seeing these media people lying to my face, straight up lying, I don't know what's true anymore. I know that Shedeur is confident, cocky, arrogant. I know. I've heard him say things out of his mouth that are all that. But not enough for them to be doing this. I really see, unfortunately, I don't normally do the race thing. I don't do the race thing. I just don't want to talk about it. But I watched that Eric Dickerson interview today. And the race thing is so prevalent in the NFL. And it's prevalent among the fans. That it's prevalent in America, that race thing, and people's biases shaping their view. But these NFL MFers, these owners, they them old school 80-year-old make America great again racists. And they treat black people horribly. They treat black players horribly. The NFL itself treats players horribly. They were talking about, so it was basketball players interviewing them. I can't remember all the smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven, what's his name? I can't remember his name. And they were talking about how, as NBA players, not only are they insured for life, their children get full medical coverage until they turn 25 years old. Football players insured for 5 years. The most brutal sport, with these guys CTE'd up, health issues out the yin yang. The NFL, because it's majority black, those old MAGA 80 and 70-year-old billionaires who enjoy controlling the world don't want to give them nothing. Bruh, your girl is heated. They playing with my emotions. So there was this one guy who told me he wants to understand my point of view. I might create a Google phone number to talk to him, because I like that. I like exchanging information and helping you understand my perspective and understand your own bias and how it shapes your views and why you would call G. Bush a liar and then try to laugh. It wasn't him, it was other people trying to laugh when I called him a reputable source. So then I got to start pointing out his education. But y'all refuse to give black people the benefit of the doubt, especially black men. So this stuff that's going on with Shedeur, it's a racial element to it, in that, just like this one guy said on Twitter, G. Bush lies, and it just gets louder and louder and louder. They don't understand how we express ourselves. That's all it is. Bruh, what's wrong with him being loud? Why is that bad? Why does that mean whatever he's saying is a lie? Inquiring minds want to know, bro. It's racial bias. Eric Dickerson said back in the day, if you got a white quarterback and a black quarterback, the NFL would justify paying the white quarterback more because already the black quarterback is not as smart as the white quarterback. How many times have y'all heard Mary Kay call Dylan a supercomputer and Shedeur a slow learner? They still doing it in 2025, y'all. Racial bias shaping their opinion of black people. I saw this video today on Twitter of these girls fighting in the grocery store. And they were black. Well, you know, you can't read the comments on stuff like that because the white folk gonna find it and be calling them every kind of monkeys under the sun. And that's what they were doing. But thank the Lord, someone posted a video underneath that video of this white boy. They sound like they were in England, Ireland. They were in Europe somewhere. They had those accents. The boy done snuck the girl from the back and commenced the, for real, fighting. And the girl, who was the same height as him, she wasn't no big girl, because them big girls will beat your ass. She wasn't no big girl, but she beat him. They had a good one-on-one fight, and they were white. So everybody that was posting monkeys and stuff underneath that post, I put that post underneath theirs. What you say about them? Are they monkeys? One thing about my mouth, once I tell you off, you get quiet. I like that. That's when I know I won. But this one guy say he wants to understand my point of view because I told him to Google. Because I said the collusion is right in your face. Y'all just really just disregarded the fact that Shedeur was graded as a first-round pick by everybody. They write that off by saying, well, that's by media people. That's not the team. No. Not only is it analysts, skilled analysts who do this, and y'all accept it every year, but teams were recruiting him, scouting him heavily, all up at the Colorado games, heavily, all up in his face. Brian Daboll, the Raiders coach, all up in his face. And he was invited to the draft. He didn't go. That hurt him too. All those things he did, they just kept stacking up, as one guy said the other day. He just kept doing it. It was too many things stacked up together that made that he pissed him off. But I'm cool with that because I want Shedeur to be him. So take this punishment and continue to be you. Don't change so that you can get forward. Because look at what's happening to poor Russell Wilson right now. He ain't going out like a champ. Russell Wilson going out like a sucker. After all that butt kissing he been doing his whole career. They talk ish about him. They booing him at games. He's now been reduced to QB3, where he started the season as QB1. So no, be yourself, nephew. Because all that kissing booty and being a company man, let Russell Wilson be the example of how that ish works out. They turned on him and his coworkers never liked him because of that. Because of what he was. Kissing them people's behinds. F them people. I'm glad Deion raised a real man. Not that Russell's not a real man. That's his real personality. That's the thing about Russ. That's just who he is. He ain't faking. That's who he is. It just hasn't ended well for him. The white folk don't care about him. Hopefully they'll give him, I don't know what Russ wants to do after his career. He still thinks that he's going to have a long career. But no. It's been 4 years of him playing horribly. And now he's finally QB3. So I don't think that Russell Wilson, I don't know. Somebody still might take Russ as a QB1. We'll see. Because they do be giving these quarterbacks a lot of chance to find their way. We'll see. So that's that. I'm just ranting and raving because those people piss me off so bad talking that mess about G. Bush, trying to minimize him solely because he's black. Although they finally coming down on Mary Kate too. I've seen a whole bunch of people calling her a liar yesterday. They tired of her ass with her nonsense. Amber, yes, I meant to say that. Girl. So Brian Daboll is outward with his aggression. Kevin Stefanski is a weaselly little coward. I can't stand that man. Ooh, he's a coward, so he uses the media to say the nasty ish that he wants to say. He's the one feeding Mary Kay, Tony Grossi, Jason Lloyd, Dan Orlovsky, Rex Ryan. Everybody was like, Rex lying. Rex ain't lied. Rex ain't lying. Rex didn't lie. He did not lie. Rex said what Kevin told him. Shedeur sitting in the back with the scout team wide receivers. Kevin told him that. He didn't tell him all the times that Shedeur was sitting in the front and that Shedeur was customarily sitting in the front and he still couldn't move up the depth chart no matter what he did. Not sitting in the front, not balling out in practice, not having the best stats out of all the quarterbacks on the team, all 4 of them. Nothing. Not balling out in the Panthers game didn't do nothing for Shedeur. So I believe that he was sitting in the back with the scout team wide receivers because those are his guys. And now they're getting elevated to the 53-man roster. And I told y'all this also. The wide receiver coach been going on and on about those scout team wide receivers. He think they them. That's Shedeur's guys. They are them. And now they getting elevated. Gage, Cade, next up Luke, Thrash, Tillman, and especially Judy need to be worried about their job. They better start showing something as soon as Shedeur gets out there, if they let him play with them. If they let him. They need to start, they need to start showing something. Because Shedeur's boys are ready. That's what the wide receiver coach said. And they told Mary Kay, and nobody believes it. We don't have a problem at wide receiver. We don't have no problem. The Browns are deep at wide receiver. Kevin Stefanski wouldn't allow the quarterbacks to throw the ball to him. And I think they protested too. That's why Judy ain't catching them balls. That's what I think. I'm probably wrong. Normally when I jump to conclusions and I find out the actual situation, I'd be wrong. But I think it's a chance that I'm right. That they don't want to catch them balls. Isaiah Bond, he a rookie. That means he one of Shedeur's boys. Shedeur said out of his mouth, the rookies are his faves. So Isaiah Bond, yup, Dylan gonna bounce that ball off my head. I ain't catching nothing from you. I'm cool. I got a fully guaranteed contract. I ain't catching nothing. Them guys been crying out to the media since training camp. They bullishing with Shedeur. He's the franchise quarterback. I think they wasting his first season. But I'm cool with it if they wasting it to get him an O-line in the draft. They don't need no wide receivers, and they know that. Nobody else knows, but they know. Hey, Saeed, how you doing? I don't know if you're still there. Oh, they nasty. They nasty now, Vogel. How you doing, girl? How you doing? Yeah, they a piece of work, man. I can't. They done got my pressure up today. But hearing that guy on 92.3 The Fan saying that they've been debating all week to push Shedeur out there, that lifted my spirits right on up. So if Shedeur doesn't start this week, I feel relatively certain he's starting next week. And we finally get to see our nephew. We ain't seen our nephew play football in so long. So I'm excited. I don't care who he plays against. I wish he would. I would love to see him play against Lamar. But they would need to announce it so that those daggone tickets that they can't move can sell out and they can raise the price. It's Friday. It's too late. It's too late. Somebody check Twitter. Make sure they come out. Once again, you are preaching and telling the truth. We all see exactly what you're saying. Thanks, Gene Ford. I'm praying for Shedeur. I'm praying for him too. He's getting a lot of prayers. He's going to be all right. Things are falling into place for him. I just needed him to get out there early enough to get up to speed. I'm giving him one game to get up to speed. And then be in contention for Rookie of the Week and Rookie of the Year. Because there's no set amount of games that he needs to play to be considered for Rookie of the Year. Oops, sorry, I'm going slow. So I'm looking forward to that. So he's coming, guys. Oh, but they did say, so while the coaches are like at a tug of war over Shedeur, one side saying let's play him, the other side saying we're sticking with Dylan, which I'm sure is Kevin, and whoever is kissing his butt still knowing that boy about to get fired. I don't care what Jimmy Haslam said to him. He's acting like he doesn't think he's gonna get fired. I think Jimmy is pulling his leg. He done did it to a coach before. Tell the coach you want to lose, and then when the coach lose, fire him. I think that's what's coming for Stefanski. Good. And whoever they interview, because somebody was talking about, when you do a regime change, the new regime doesn't want the quarterback that was there, or the people, there'll be people that they want to get rid of because they're not their people. No, when they interview people, they need to say, Shedeur's the franchise quarterback. Are you okay with that? And if they say no, then they can't be a candidate. And that's why Kevin can't be a candidate. Because the players said Shedeur's the franchise quarterback. That's why Kevin Stefanski getting fired. The players know, everybody knows. You went to the Jets game. Are you a Jets fan? So if you're a Jets fan, hey, good for y'all. And Justin Fields looked like he tried to build on that win. He was kind of, he sucks a lot. He sucks really, really bad. Oh, okay. He sucks really, really bad, but with the highlights I saw yesterday, several of his passes were dropped by a guy that they traded for from the Colts. Traded, they traded away their two best players on defense. And then they got that guy on offense, and he dropping passes left and right. I can't remember his name. Well, I was planning on going to the my goal was to go to the Titans game and see Shedeur and Cam face off. But I don't want to now. I don't want to. I don't want to support them. I'm pissed off by what they've done to Shedeur. Okay. I'm pissed off. But I don't know. I want to see that game. But you know what? I can watch it at home. In the comfort of my own home. So, that's what I'll do. Now, I'm at that stage in my drive where I know my signal about to be bad, and then when I post the video, it's going to be bad. So I'm going to end right here. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. At home and all that good stuff. And we're officially on Shedeur watch. QB1 is coming. Y'all have a good day and a good weekend. I'll probably check back in on Sunday. Mwah.